You want to make new friends, but you hesitate to approach them. You want to have a casual conversation with your CEO at an office event, but something holds you back. Hi everyone, in this video, we'll talk about why you hesitate to talk to random people in the first place, how you can address each reason, and the overall solution so you can improve your social skills and talk to anyone you want. One of the reasons is past exposure to tough environments. When you put yourself out there and don't get a positive response, it can hold you back. I have actually witnessed this multiple times, especially in school or college. Someone is trying to connect with batchmates, asking normal questions, but the response they receive can make them feel like reaching out isn't welcome. And situations like this that give you a negative response can stay with you. I know that we shouldn't take these incidents too seriously, but this is not how your brain works. According to B.F. Skinner's theory of operant conditioning, when a specific situation results in a negative experience, we learn to avoid that behavior because we don't want to face the negative outcome again. Avoiding that situation gives your brain instant relief. That's how, based on past negative experiences, you can develop an avoidance of talking to random people. Now, how do you solve this? You need to practice in an easy environment. Choose people you regularly interact with while paying for everyday services. That is one of the best environments to start with. If you go out to get some food, ask the waiter or cashier, how are you doing? Even when you call customer support about a problem with your mobile service or anything, you can first ask them how they are doing. Not just words, ask it as a genuine question that you really mean. These are easy environments where you can find strangers to initiate a conversation with. People in customer service are best to start with because by default they respond in a constructive manner. Then you can start introducing yourself at events, parties, or through mutual friends. You have to make the environment obvious where you are likely to get a positive response. Because when you receive positive responses, your brain starts learning that talking to a stranger is not something it needs to avoid. The next one is unfamiliarity. If you weren't a social person growing up or you didn't have a chance to explore talking to strangers and getting in front of people, then it becomes a very unfamiliar situation for you. But it's not only about social skills. Any unfamiliar situation can make you hesitant. If your system has not explored something yet, it can naturally feel uncomfortable. This happened to me when I had to travel back and forth from my hometown to Ireland. I had never traveled internationally before. Even changing flights during extremely short layovers felt uneasy. The first two times I asked my friends if they were scheduling their flights at the same time so I wouldn't need to travel alone. But then I realized I was developing a hesitation. So after that, I decided to travel alone. I remember telling myself you only have to do it once on your own to get comfortable. Only the first time is weird, it will be easier the next time. And yeah, after a few times, I actually enjoyed a place that I once dreaded. It's better to face your discomfort than to feel trapped by it. You could address unfamiliarity with some willpower and an idea of reward. Tell yourself that you will get a positive reward from the action. It could be a sense of growth or sense of independence. When you connect an action with a reward, you are more likely to repeat it. The last one is outward category based approach. This is my personal theory that I developed to go from being good at social skills to becoming better at them, and also to build better clarity in life. When you approach someone, in back of your mind, you put them into different categories based on their position, gender, nationality, and so on. For example, when you talk to a girl or a guy, your thought process might categorize them based on their gender. If you're talking to the CEO or director of the company you work in, you might categorize them based on their position. But you shouldn't approach talking to someone like that. Whenever we had office events where our COO or CEO would sometimes join us, before having a conversation with them, I wouldn't think about their position. Instead, I would think about all the positive identities I had worked on throughout my life. I have an understanding identity, I have a grounded identity, and so on. How you talk to someone doesn't tell you about who they are, it tells you more about who you are. From early on, I made this clear with myself. I would talk to a delivery guy the same way I would talk to the CEO of this delivery business. So, whenever you feel hesitant to approach someone, ask yourself this: can I simply see the person in front of me as a person? Remove their categories, bring up the positive identities you already have. Maybe you go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week, maybe you are a straightforward person, a good listener, or someone who is helpful. Whatever is true about you, recall those instead of focusing on who the other person is. Now we only have to put all three solutions together. Choose the easiest environment, start getting comfortable talking to strangers. Use your willpower and an idea of reward to face unfamiliar situations. Remind yourself that the first time is usually the uncomfortable one. There is a reward after you complete this action. And last, stop focusing on the category you have put the other person in. Instead, focus on the positive identities that are true about you. Once you learn to become a more social person, carry that uplifting energy with you. Try not to become someone's negative experience that they would need to unlearn in their life. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.